What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope everybody's doing well out there on this hump day, Wednesday. I'm doing good myself. I mean, what do you know? We're already into Wednesday. That's just a couple more days to Friday. I'm looking forward to that. You understand? Big shout out to the brother Jamal Bay for alerting me to this story right here. Apparently, Ben and Jerry stands in support of H.R.40 and reparations for African Americans. Wow, I was really shocked to see that. You know what I mean? I guess that can be a plus. In fact, I know it is. You know what I mean? Because if you get some European support, well then that can go a long way with you know them actually cutting a check. I mean, really. But before we go any further, I just want to bring up the movie, Harriet Tubman. You understand? I heard that this movie was a flop. And that's good if it is. You understand? I guess the actress, Cynthia Averill, I guess she, went about and she said some pretty negative things from what I hear, about us as a American people here, us he eyes here. You understand? If she did that, well then, that's what they get. As far as I'm concerned, the time has passed for us to be pacified by these kind of movies anyway. We're on to the next chapter in the book, of our lives as a people. And that's just all there is to it. We're not looking back, worrying about don't get me wrong, I appreciate certain histories, but if you're gonna tell the history, tell it like it is. Don't lie. And then too, when you get actors or actresses to play our people, you understand, our ancestors, can you get somebody that's so-called American, somebody's black, you know what I mean? Every time they get some actors or actresses to play, our ancestors that paved the way to where we are, as a people now, they always seem to get somebody from Britain. I don't understand why. That's just kind of strange. Even though I know, slavery actually, Britain and all that was involved in it. There were black slaves, that was migrated to Britain. They were split up there too. You see, you have to understand that Hivites, which is say Hebrew, Hebrew Israelites, were actually split up, all across the four corners of the earth. Okay? But the thing is this, I don't know why a lot of entertainers that's in Britain, it seems like they kind of snub their nose at black people here. Okay? And that's not cool. I'm not saying all of them do it, but for the ones that do it, that's not cool. Now here's Cynthia Ivro. She actually did that. But I just wanted to touch on that and touch bases, and everything. But let's get into this story right here. It says it's time to talk about reparations, why Ben and Jerry supports H.R.40. Okay? That's pretty cool. You know what I mean? If they're sincere. But the story reads, 400 years ago, the first enslaved Africans were brought to America in Jamestown, Virginia, as all of us acknowledge and observe the anniversary. We as a company believe it's important to take a decisive stand in support of reparations. That is why we back H.R.40, a bill before Congress that would create a commission to study the effects of slavery and discrimination from 1619 to the present and recommend appropriate remedies. Okay, what are those? What are those appropriate remedies? Don't come talking about education and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But to continue, we recognize that acknowledging The structural racism that is deeply woven into the fabric of our society is difficult. It can be uncomfortable or even shaming. But H.R. 40 gives us a chance to be honest about our history and hopeful for our future. The Atlantic slave trade, the institution of slavery itself, and the brutal and passive discrimination against African Americans that followed the emancipation are part of an immoral period in this nation's history, casting a shadow we still live under today. Strict racist laws known as black codes were established in parts of the country immediately following the ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865. Their purpose was clear: to create and codify a continued system to institutionalize racism, leading directly to the Jim Crow era, a century of terrorism, segregation, and separate and unequal treatment under the law. And that's just what that shit was, you know. And I'm going to tell you this, to be honest with you. For them to come out, and actually support the HR, 40 bill for us, I mean, hey, you got to tip your hat to these people for doing that. Because, you don't get many, how can I say, white people, that's with big businesses like, what the company they got, big companies, whatever, that would come and actually support a situation like this. Maybe some other companies might jump on the bandwagon with them. Who knows, But to continue, while Jim Crow was dismantled by Brown v. Board of Education in 1954 and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the effects of the slavery persist. They live in the criminalization and disproportionate imprisonment of African Americans throughout the United States. They live on in the unjust and racist policies and laws that have for generations denied African Americans opportunities to build wealth and prosperity. Okay. And I hear that I'm not sure how true it is, but it say people in England, black people English in England and British and all that, they got reparations. Asians got reparations. You understand? I think it was Japanese. Yeah, Japanese. Yeah. And then they claim Native Americans got reparations, but my people never seen any of that kind of, I guess the darker you are as a Native American, which means, original black Native American, I guess, well, then your reparations is going to be fleeting. You see what I'm saying? See? Because we don't know anything about no casinos and all that kind of stuff, But to continue, this is why we support the urgent movement to end mass incarceration and systematic racism, and is also why we support reparations. From Wall Street to the White House, enslaved people built America, making us one of the richest countries on the earth. That's right. And see, this is how Ben and Jerry's, it was based off of slavery. Ben and Jerry's and a lot of these other blue chip companies or whatever you want to call them, you understand, was able to get the mass wealth that they have. You understand? See? You have to actually, spread the wealth and let it trickle down to where black people can start business for themselves. And reparation is a cornerstone for doing that, as far as I'm concerned, you see. But to continue, while America's wealth has grown exponentially since 1619, the bill for all that unpaid labor has been ignored. Ancestral enslavement and the resulting institution, racism, have had a devastating effect on African American life, politically, economically, and socially. Today, we have an opportunity as a nation to do something about it. a process of honest reflection and frank acknowledgement of the wrong perpetuated and wounds left unhealed. Wow. Can unify our nation and bring our people together so that together we continue our long and unending journey towards a more perfect union. We believe that the H.R.40 is our best chance to finally come to terms with the full story of our country's founding by looking closely and honestly at the truth of slavery and its long legacy. We will finally be able to live up to our founding principles that all people are created equal. Wow. Yeah. Well, shout out to Ben and Jerry's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, if they showing support, ain't that's what it's all about? You understand? Where you talk about, well, I've heard people say stuff like that. Yeah, they don't, you know what I mean? They say that they're not racist or whatever, or our people want this and that and this and that or whatever. And we do support, but they'll never step up and actually support when it comes to situations like this, So yeah, hopefully, it's a long shot, and I'm shocked that Ben and Jerry's is doing it. But hopefully, some other big, Fortune 500 companies, blue chip companies or whatever, you understand, get a guilt. Sorry, because you know what I mean, a guilt complex, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they jump on the bandwagon, and that gets you that much more closer to the check, you understand? There is a video to this article right here where it's like 20 minutes or what have you. But I figured it would be a little bit too long for me right now. So what I'm going to do, if you want to watch the video, I'm going to put the link in the description box. And then you can check it out there. And y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation right here. I'm interested in hearing, y'all thoughts and views on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.